News Live and Gate City Bank present the Bison Football Show with head coach Chris Klieman.
Once again, North Dakota State methodically dismantled a very good football team on Saturday. Illinois State came in 5-1 with an FBS win, but the Bison got after them early and coasted to another win and a 7-0 record. Here to talk about it is head coach Chris Klieman. Congratulations to you and the staff again. It's a great win. That's a good football team that you beat, and they're going to win a lot of games.
Yeah, they are going to win a lot of games. It was a really good win by our guys. I thought our fast start really helped us, and I was pleased because we did it in all phases. You know, we were really good on offense early, really good on defense, and then the special teams plays were critical. So they're all great wins in the Valley.
Illinois State's a big football team, aren't they? They have great size.
Yeah, they're one of the biggest teams that we have seen and probably will see. Offense and defensive lines are really big, physical guys. Running back's a great player, and you're right, that's a playoff team.
Yeah, I think so too. Let's roll the first half and see how this played out. It was a really good first half for the Bison. Third play of the game, you're on offense. They won the toss and deferred, so you get the ball and you hit a big one.
Yeah, it's a third down. Great job by Easton and Shep. They kind of checked it at the line of scrimmage and went over the top on a double move, and that really flipped the field and got us some momentum.
Fast starts are important. 6 plays and you're in the end zone for a 7-0 lead, and that was big.
It really was. It was so important for us to get off to that quick start, get the crowd into it. Good job by Lance here, running a little read zone, and we're up 7-0.
You know, in this game, they're a physical team as well, so it was important to set the tone physically, and I think Jabril Cox did that early with a big hit.
Yeah, he really did. I thought our defensive line was relentless all day long, and they kind of got out of the pocket to try to avoid some of our rush, and big hit here by Jabril and the quarterback.
Well, the second drive, you get another big one. Darius gets on a safety here a little bit, and another big play in the passing game.
Yeah, really good design of a play by Coach Mess and the staff, and we get a corner out with Shep, man-to-man on a safety, and Shep's going to win that battle.
That safety's a good player, too. He makes a big play coming up here, a takeaway from Easton here, and he's a nice player.
He's a really good player. I think he does a nice job of reading the eyes and steps in front of the play, and it was kind of a momentum changer for them.
Yep, did a good job, though. They hit one play here, but this drive never really did materialize for them.
No, we noticed earlier they were trying to either get out of the pocket or try to throw some screens and try to slow down our rush.
You know, the pass rush was just relentless all day.
Yeah, really good job by the guys, just continuing to collapse the pocket and continuing to be relentless on the QB.
Well, in the run game offensively, no Bruce Anderson, so Lance and Ty really had to carry the load, didn't they?
Yeah, they really did. We ran both those two guys, ran Easton a little bit, ran some jet sweep. We were going to try to find different ways, whether it was in the zone scheme or some of our power game.
Well, their quarterback's probably in an ice bath somewhere today. Another monster hit.
Yeah, he's a good player, and he's got a tremendous arm, and he showed some moxie staying in there the whole 4 quarters.
Special teams, the return game, it's such a big deal, these type of yards.
Well, you have to flip the field. We catch this thing at the 11 or 12-yard line. Really some excellent blocking by the guys. Shep makes a couple guys miss, and next thing you know, we're out close to midfield. You
know, Darius was just impacting the game all over the place. Wasn't just the deep balls. He was involved in all phases of the passing game.
Yeah, a little RPO action here. Good job by Shep just finding a hole and Easton getting the football to him.
Was this a game where you planned to run Easton a little bit more?
Well, it just depends on what they were giving us, and they ended up giving us some what we call our iron series, where he keeps it in the A gap, and he made some big plays, especially in some critical third downs.
Red zone creativity. This was a beauty.
Great job by Dylan Radens and by Ty Brooks setting the edge, and then Dallas with the big touchdown.
That was 3rd and 4 from the 9. It's 14-0 right now. Spencer Schnell kind of reminds me of Ryan Smith from old Bison days. He's just a good football player.
He's an excellent receiver. We knew about him. He was one of our focal points, and he had some big plays, and they tried to get him the football.
The big guy, James Robinson, he starts to heat up a little bit.
Yeah, he's a great football player. Low center of gravity, extremely quick, hard to bring down with one-on-one tackling.
They're really on the move on this particular drive, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. They do a nice job. Kid makes a really good catch inside the 5-yard line, puts it in a good spot, and they come up with the play.
Although, you get a takeaway, and this was a big play. Robbie came in a little gimpy, but he played well.
Yeah, really good job by Tuska, putting a lot of pressure on him, and then Robbie steps in front. And red zone defense, you have to be able to bow up late when you get down there, and I think our defense did a great job that series.
When you get a turnover deep like that, you are deep, but you use the tight end to get out of the hole.
Really good call here. Good job by Ben Ellefson. Ben's made some real critical catches for us this season.
Dallas Freeman, this was one of his better games overall.
Yeah, and Easton's really comfortable and confident in Dallas. Dallas goes up and takes the football away from the defensive back, and it was another big 3rd down conversion.
More Easton in the run game. He was just really good on the run-pass options here.
Yeah, they were trying to set the edge and not let us run outside like we'd done against so many teams, and so that enabled Easton to come back inside.
This really was a terrific drive. 12 plays, 95 yards.
Yeah, good job, good blocking of Brock Robinson, and Nate Jensen allowed Lance to get in another touchdown.
That's a dominant first half of football against a very good football team. 21-0 at the half for the Bison. You see the total yards. The Bison had a really good half offensively, 279. Third down conversions became a story throughout the afternoon. Look at the Bison, 6 of 7 in the first half. Before we get to the second half, his debut on the Gate City Bank hot seat, James Hendricks. James, what teammate do you relate the best to?
Ben Elfson.
Your favorite member of the Bison coaching staff?
I've had a couple of them, but I'll go with Coach Klieman. He's my coach right now.
You have lots of coaches playing so many
do.
positions.
Yeah.
What sport did you try as a child that you failed at?
Wrestling.
Your favorite Halloween costume?
Power Rangers.
What did you get in the most trouble for with your parents?
Sneaking out.
Okay. If you could be best friends with a celebrity, who would it be?
Oh boy. I would say Dustin Johnson.
Okay, good golfer. What is the most expensive thing you would buy if you had unlimited money?
Probably just a big lake home.
Okay. Best summer job you've ever had?
Fargo Parks.
Worst food you've ever tasted?
I can't think of one. I used to be seafood, but I've grown up to that now.
Okay. What skill do you want to learn?
Playing the guitar.
And strangest tradition in your family?
Over the 4th of July, we have all over my mom's side, we play Survivor games for a whole day. So
wow.
Yeah, we split up into 4 teams and play them. So yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Thanks, James. Well, Coach, what was the halftime locker room like for this one?
Well, we had a good first half, but we knew there were some things we needed to work on. We needed to have another fast start in the second half, and then, you know, we knew it was going to be a 4-quarter game because this is a good football team. They
won the toss, took the ball, and to start the second half here, as we look at this, they had a 3-and-out. Really interesting play calling on that. But they did give it up right away, and another big play by Darius Shepard.
Yeah, this was a huge play for us to flip the momentum, get it at the 15, some great blocking. Shep gets around the edge, and I think we have about a 65, 70-yard return to put us in good field position.
Yeah, this is fantastic. And then Lance Dunn started running physically and moving the ball inside the red zone here.
Yeah, really good job here by Easton, making a check at the line of scrimmage. Everybody getting that communication, which is so critical. Great job hitting the cutback by Lance.
So you get in the end zone here on the next play. It's 28-0. That's a great way to start the half. A 3-and-out and then a drive for points.
Boy, it sure is. We all felt good about it, but in the same respect, this is a really good football team that wasn't going to quit.
You know, their second back, it's James Robinson and then Markel Smith. He's also a pretty good back.
He's a really good player. He's tough to bring down, physical runner, and they have a 1-2 punch back there.
You know what I noticed about their quarterback is he does have a big arm.
He's got a great arm. This is a good throw on a double move that they get in behind us, and big play by them.
Yeah, he dropped it right in the phone booth right there, although you hold him to a field goal, and they missed the field goal.
Yeah, it was a good job of bending and not breaking in the red zone again.
You know, Garrett Wagner, we've talked about him a lot. We're going to talk about him more later in the show, but he's just had a tremendous year, keeps making plays.
Yeah, and I was really impressed with Ross Kennelly as well. Ross snapped the ball really well, and we had really good protection, and good job by the guys pinning this thing inside the 1, although it doesn't help us on this next drive.
Yeah, exactly. You get them at the 1, and this is actually where they started to build some momentum. They take this drive and run with it.
Yeah, not very good coverage here. We kind of knew it was coming. 11 made a great move on Marquise, and they get a big play right off the bat.
This is where we see the capabilities of James Robinson. It looks like some missed tackles, but this guy has great footwork.
Yeah, really good. He explodes through the hole. He's really quick. He's a physical runner. He's tough to bring down one-on-one, and they do a nice job of methodically moving the football, and they got into some bigger personnel, and give them credit. They came up with a great drive here and took it 99 yards on us, which is nothing you ever want to see. They quick counted us here. Great job by them, and then he cuts it back, and big touchdown for him.
Yep, 28-7. That was a 99-yard drive, but I'll tell you what, third down still was a big story in the second half here. This was another third down.
Yeah, really good job by Easton. We were able to run the football on third down, which I think is a good thing for us to just kind of make defenses have to defend a lot more stuff moving forward.
You know, we did have to punt there and move to the fourth quarter. And this is an interesting play because he's getting hit on third down.
Yeah, really good job getting a stop there, kind of back and forth now, and we needed to get off the field on some of these third downs. We were able to do that.
Their defense started to come alive a little bit as well.
They really did. Good job rushing the passer. We talked about it. They're so long and athletic up front, and they do a nice job.
Davis, their quarterback, and Schnell, they had great chemistry. They hook up a couple of times here, and they get in the end zone pretty quick.
Yeah, he kind of throws it across his body, and 11's a really good football player, and he finds a little seam in between the zone.
This was kind of a post route right in the middle of the field here for Schnell for a touchdown.
Yeah, they do a nice job of kind of running a double move and get a big touchdown.
So it's 28-14 right now. There's still about 7 minutes left. You need to move the chains now a little bit and get some first downs. Huh?
Yeah, we need to, we have a little adversity, and great job here by Shep on another 3rd and long.
Yep.
Good job by Dallas on the edge, and we get a big first down.
That was huge on 3rd and 6 because that ran about 2 more minutes off, and they don't get the ball back until about 3 minutes left here.
Yeah, and then what a great play by Jalen Allison. I watched this as it was happening. He showed press coverage and then bailed at the snap and was able to read the quarterback's eyes for a big interception.
Well, here is the play and the run that everybody is talking about. Ty Brooks gets everybody from Illinois State piled on, and he drags them for about 15.
Yeah, this is a great run by Ty. Great job by the Rams of continuing to push the pile and keep moving forward, and Ty's a strong kid.
You got to have strong legs to do that, to hold that pile up, don't you?
Yes, you sure do. Plus, it took another 30 seconds off just in the run.
It's a good point. The final score, what a win for the Bison. 28-14. NDSU is 7-0. You look at the total yards. Illinois State got a little bit going late. That's a little deceiving. The Bison had a great day offensively. Third down conversions. They came in defensively, really stopping third down, but the Bison were 10 of 16 on third down. That is unbelievable, folks. Let's hear what the players had to say after the game.
Quarterback just rolled out away from me, and I saw guys hanging out backside, so I figured I'd hang out. And I don't know if it was some sort of throwback play, but he came back to our side, and I think he got a little confused when he saw everyone covered and just tried to force something in there, and he just happened to throw right to me.
I think we've always got stuff called, always got stuff in the plan, and it just kind of depends on looks we're getting. And we were fortunate enough to get a couple looks today that we were looking for, and Shep ran really good routes. And the big thing is the offensive line protected it and gave me time to find him. And but yeah, I mean, we want to always try to be aggressive, but at the same time, we're taking what they give us.
Nothing really changed with Bruce going out. We still think we're all dominant. We all could be starters. So we take it as that. That's our mentality. We're all starters. So we come out there and we just eat.
We read our keys and executed our keys. I mean, we see a lot of these plays in fall camp. It's a lot of stuff that our offense runs, and we know they're not running it better than our offense is. And so if we just read our keys and execute, we're able to hit our fits. We're able to make plays.
The Bison players had a great day. Illinois State, on the other hand, took a loss but left with a ton of respect for how North Dakota State plays the game.
We're very young up front on defense, and we got a lesson in how to play physical football. And I was happy where we finished. Was not obviously happy with the score, but congratulations to the Bison.
Brock Spack's good football coach. They're going to be in the playoffs, I think. Pretty easy choice for our Nodak Insurance player of the game. Darius Shepard set the tone early in the receiving game, and then he slammed the door in special teams to the tune of an outstanding 236 all-purpose yards. All of his plays in both areas impacted the game greatly. Darius is having a great senior season so far with 28 catches for 512 and 5 touchdowns, and he is always giving credit to others.
Just the coaches put us in a good position to make plays. Easton did a great job getting me the ball, and the O-line did an incredible job holding up in the protection today. Yeah, I think, just it's fun to get out here on Saturdays and play with my brothers and, get my mind away from things. But, these are my family right here, so it's always fun going to war.
Well, Darius is playing really well, isn't he?
He really is. He's doing things in all phases of the game, and one of our best leaders and one of our best practice players, too. He sets it by example every day.
I wanted to talk about third downs, 10 of 16. That's so impressive. And how important are third downs? Well, if you look at who are some of the top 5 teams out there, and these 3 teams right now are some of the best on third down in the nation. All 3 have played 7 games. right at 50% for Kennesaw, JMU, and the Bison. That correlates into victories, doesn't it?
It sure does. You're staying on the field. You're keeping your defense on the sideline. And we were really good on third down again and enabled us to get off to a big lead and then hang on to it. We had some critical third down situations late in the game as well.
Yeah, no doubt. That's great stuff right there. Red zone creativity. Wanted to talk a little bit about that as well today. You talk about the option play here that we saw you and I inside the 10, and then we saw the Freeman one yesterday. We'll take a look at that as well. But creativity in the red zone is a big deal.
It really is. You know, the field shrinks so much, and so, you know, offenses have to be really precise. Defenses can clamp down a little bit more, and we've run a lot of different plays in the red zone, and we're not kind of, you know, hanging our hat on one thing. We're utilizing the quarterback. We're utilizing receivers and backs. We're utilizing tight ends in the passing game. And I think we have a lot more things that we haven't shown that we continue to practice and work on. But, you know, red zone, you have to get in the end zone. You have to score touchdowns.
Dylan Radun's really crushed that safety on that play. That was impressive. Coach, the injuries, so Bruce Anderson and Michael Tutsi did not dress. Any updates on these two?
Yeah, we really don't have any updates on those two guys. I know we got banged up a little bit yesterday, but things that are going to be more nagging week-to-week things, yeah. and that's the fortunate side of things. You have to have great depth, and hopefully, we know we're going to get both those two guys back. It's just a matter of when.
Well, that's good news right there for sure. Garrett Wagner has such a great season going. We're going to talk more about him, go in depth with how he ended up at NDSU. Stay with us. Welcome back. The Bison have had a string of great punters. This year was somewhat of an unknown with Garrett Wagner, but all questions have been answered and then some. Wagner is having an incredible season in all phases. Alex Egan has this week's Olaf Anderson Construction feature story.
We got to come up with a good Wisconsin nickname, you know, the Cheeseheads or something like that. I was fortunate enough to recruit all three of those kids.
One of those Wisconsin kids is punter Garrett Wagner. The NDSU sophomore came to Fargo from Lodi, Wisconsin.
And I wanted to watch him do some things and punt, and, you know, there's about a foot of snow on the ground. So he says, well, why don't you just come down to my basement and watch me kick into a net? And I said, okay, all right, sounds good. So I went down in his basement and watched Wags pound the ball into a kicking net. And I got back here, and Coach Klieman said, what do you think? I said, he's got a pretty darn good leg. You know, I think he could fit in real well here.
He turned down Division II offers and decided to choose NDSU, despite only a walk-on opportunity.
It was an interesting path, but we're certainly glad we got him here.
Wagner says Gazer would call him weekly to check in on how his last game went. And after Wagner came up to the summer camp in Fargo, the Bison continued to talk to him.
That's kind of when I knew NDSU was special, and that their coaches really do care about you. I mean, I'm just a punter, and I'm getting calls once a week from this coach up in North Dakota telling me that, you know, we want you to come here, and that really is what brought me here.
It's not just punting Wagner has been put in charge of for the Bison. He's also the holder for all place kicks. Wagner says it was his experience as a kicker in high school that taught him the value of a good holder.
That's when I really realized how important holding is, especially to the kicker, seeing how I've been in the kicker's shoes and now the holder. It's extremely important.
Wagner says he's hoping to carry the torch from specialists that have come before him at NDSU.
There's a huge emphasis on special teams, and we're trying to be the best special teams unit in the country. It started probably, you know, back with Mike and Ben punting, and, you know, those guys were extremely good punters, and they've basically set the standard to what I'm trying to be.
For the Bison Football Show, I'm Alex Egan.
You know, Coach, we talk about his punting all the time, but you forget that he's the holder, and he's done a great job. There's been a few that are maybe high or low, and he always has it in place in time.
Yeah, he really does. Wags is having a great season. Everybody appreciates what he's brought to the table and what he's brought to our football team, and we're a much better team this year because of Garrett Wagner.
Yeah, and special teams are a really, really important part of the game.
They really are. We've been able to win the hidden yardage statistic that we talk about so much. We've flipped the field on a lot of people, and credit Wags and Cam for doing a great job.
No doubt. We have a big prospect to talk about in this week's Peterson Farm Seed Future Crop of Bison. I mean really big. Sam Moore is one big, tough kid from Verndale, Minnesota. You watch him in practice, and he certainly stands out. The recruiting cycle was interesting. He went from an unknown to getting Big Ten offers, and the Bison were able to secure the commitment.
No other FCS schools really contacted me, nor the D1 schools actually contacted me until after I got both my offers. Because I received an offer from the Iowa Hawkeyes and then an offer from NDSU the same day. and I didn't really receive any other recruiting until after that, and that's when the University of Minnesota started talking to me, and I got a few letters from other FBS schools.
So the Gophers, the Hawkeyes, he ends up with the Bison. Tell us about this kid.
What a great young man and a great family, and excited about his future. He's going to be an impact guy. He's done a great job already on the scout team. Big, physical, long, athletic guy that I know that Coach Gazer is really excited to work with over the next 4 years, because he's going to be an impact guy.
And a nice frame, too, for Coach Kramer to work on.
Absolutely. He's put on some weight already, yeah. and he's a tough young man that we think has a bright future. Sky's the limit for old Samuel.
That's great. Good to have him in the program. Hey, a big game coming up again. It's a road game at South Dakota. We'll talk about it. Stay with us. Coach, it's never easy on the road. It's hard to compare scores and expect what kind of shot you're going to get from a team. But when the Bison come to town, you get everybody's best shot, it seems like. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to play a really good South Dakota team at their place in a dome stadium, so the noise will be a factor. We have to have a great week of preparation. This has been the month of October. I knew it was going to be tough, having 3 of the 4 on the road. Yeah, this is the Verizon look ahead at the South Dakota Coyotes, and the Coyotes have had a couple of tough weeks here, but this is a good football team. Austin Simmons, Bob Nielsen, they're always well coached. They really are, and they're going to play as fast as they can play and get as many snaps as they can, and that's a challenge for our defense. And so we have to do a great job of just getting lined up on defense and playing fast. Then we need to be able to run the football and try to control the clock. A couple of years ago down at Vermillion, this was a tight ball game. Got their best shot down there a couple of years ago, so you expect that almost every week, don't you? In the Valley, you're going to get everybody's best shot, and their backs are against the wall a little bit, yeah. and it'll be a great football game, as they all are in this league. Yeah, what do you think of the Valley so far? Because UNI is starting to make a little bit of a move here. Yeah, they are, and we're only halfway through. There's so much more that can happen, and I know that we like where we're sitting, but you can't rest on that, because if you do, you're going to end up losing the next week. So everybody's in the same boat. It's just halfway, and each week's its own season. You have to feel great about where your team's at, though. Really am. We're playing well. We're going to hopefully continue to get some guys back from a health standpoint, and have to continue to attack every day. No doubt. Great job to you and your staff. The Bison are 7-0. The Bison Radio Network will be all fired up from Vermillion this weekend. Of course, NBC North Dakota will have your coverage for you, ESPN Plus outside the area. We'll have everything ready for you, and we'll recap it next week. Enjoy it, everybody. The Bison are 7-0. See you next time.